Hello there! VideoGaming Father is here with a video review of a crazy arcade racing game with redneck humor called Calvin Tucker's Farm Animal Racing. Is there any humorous story full of fun and crazy redneck humor? Can one find original racers with unique abilities in the game? Is the game full of interesting tracks in variable environments? Are there any interesting power-ups and weapons that you can use against your opponents? Does the track design allow you to properly test your skills, or on the contrary it does not give you a proper space for racing? Isn't the game spoiled by clunky controls or incredible difficulty? Does the game have nice to look at and hear audiovisuals? And can one find here any local multiplayer moving the crazy arcade racing fun to the next level yet? Let's spend the next few minutes together and find out all the answers. Here comes the story. One day some animals from the redneck farm sit together and think that there should be more in the world to discover than just the farm. The main idea comes from Billy Pete the pig, who isn't satisfied with his small and dirty shack. Billy Pete decides to travel all around the globe and organize some exciting racing tournaments just for the fun and of course for the adrenaline. He hires the strong and fearsome Billy Barry the bull to protect him from any danger he might encounter in the world, but not before the silent but cool Billy Cool the sheep with his sunglasses decide to join the party. Soon Mr. Billy Goat and his lovely cow wife Sue Ella Stripe decide to race as well, just for the fun of it, and then even Chicken Sue Quack decides to join. While the party engineers and prepares their crazy vehicles, Crazy Cat Billy Slick decides to join because otherwise there is no one left at the farm for him to harass or to oppress. Does it sound childish? Most likely. Does it sound crazy enough? Totally! Story is only present by the text in the game description and is not developed further, but at least the authors use their fantasy to come up with something explaining why you are racing with farm animals in the redneck style. Now let's get to the gameplay. In the beginning of the game you can select between two game modes, Tournament and Quick Race. There are not too many that you can choose from, are there? There is not much to discover in the Quick Race mode, as you unlock the races for the Quick Race by finishing them in the tournament anyway, so I chose the tournament right away. There is just one tournament unlocked in the beginning that you need to win to unlock the next one. You can choose from up to 8 different racers, most of them I have already mentioned in the story description, but there are just 3 of them unlocked in the beginning. So I picked up the main game character, Billy Pete the pig, with his nice turbo-powered tractor and jump into the tournament. In each race you stand against 3 other opponents and race for 2 laps. If you win the race you get 10 points to the tournament classification. The second place is awarded by 6 points, third by 4 points and fourth by 2 points. The points from the particular races within the tournament add up, and your goal is to be the best at the end of the tournament to unlock the next one. First tournament consists of 3 tracks, the other one from 4 then. In the game screen you can see which lap you are currently in, your current racing position, race map with your current position, speedometer, number of horseshoes collected, and your current power-up. Okay, so there are some power-ups and mysterious horseshoes that might enrich the gameplay. But let's talk about them a bit later, and let's have a closer look at the racing itself. The first race is located on the farm, unsurprisingly I would say. So you start your engine and pedal to the metal straight away. It is supposed to be pure arcade fun after all. From the beginning you will notice that everything is pretty quick. First collisions with your opponents, collecting first horseshoes, collecting first power-up and using it against your opponents, and also becoming a target of their weapon. Calvin Tucker's Farm Animal Racing does not even try to pretend to be a serious racing game and starts with pure arcade fun from the very beginning. Just pressing the gas button most of the time, trying to outmaneuver your opponents or colliding them to get advantage, using power-ups when needed and trying not to become the target of your opponent's power-ups. And that's how the gameplay looks most of the time. You can bet that your opponents are pretty aggressive, so you spend almost the same amount of time in the air or dancing in pirouettes when becomes the target of their attacks. And that's not all. There are also many environmental obstacles that either slow you down or make you unable to drive for a while if you are being hit. This makes most of the races interesting to the very end, as it happens only rarely that you outrun your opponent so much that they cannot keep up with you anymore. All of the described so far meet the criteria for good arcade racing fun, so let's see if the gameplay is not spoiled by some particular element. So let's take a look at the power-ups and those environmental obstacles that I have already mentioned. There are many offensive power-ups that you can find on the track. They are hidden in the boxes, so you never know what you are going to pick up. You can attack the opponents in the front of you by throwing fruits at them, shooting from a shotgun, or throwing Molotov cocktails. For slowing down the opponents behind you, there are porcupines or poops, disgusting but useful and typical redneck-like power-up. Some of them, like fruits, are less devastating and you need to aim precisely, while some of them, like Molotov cocktails, can make the enemy unable to drive for a couple of seconds wherever it's thrown at. The power-ups are really useful and you would need to actively use them to succeed in the race. I would maybe expect even greater imagination from the authors when it comes to power-ups, but at the end of the day they pleasantly refresh the gameplay. You also collect horseshoes. What are they for then? Well, if you collect 8 of them, you can activate the special ability that each driver has. Billy Pete starts farting, which gives boost to his tractor, Slimy Billy produces some slippery slime, and Suquake uses the egg attack. These special abilities are quite original, but do not provide any special advantage in comparison to common power-ups. Maybe except Suella Stripe and her milk stains that can make your vehicle dance like a ballerina. Vehicles have no statistics at all, so the differences between the drivers are rather cosmetic. I have also mentioned environmental factors. You can be hit by falling rocks, lava rocks, coconuts, snowballs, or even UFO rays depending on the game environment. All these elements, along with power-ups and special abilities, ensure that there are almost not any moments of silence as something is still happening. And this is how it should be in proper arcade racing, isn't it? What kind of environments and tracks will you be racing at? There are 6 different environments in Colvin Tucker's Farm Animal Racing. There is a typical farm track with a lot of mud, trees, big red farm barns and windmills, and white tracks with a lot of space to outrun your opponent. Then there is a medieval world with castles, burning fires, drawbridges, small and dirty villages, and also dark forest with big cones falling at you. The pirate track is located on a small tropical island with palm trees and falling coconuts, dangerous cliffs, weak bridges, caves with falling lava rocks, and a pirate bay with pirate ships shooting at you. You can also find here Egypt track with ancient walls, rocky canyons with falling rocks, tornadoes on the track, and narrow parts full of corners inside of pyramids. The polar track has narrow roads in snowy mountains with tunnels and bridges entirely made of ice and snowballs raining at you, and dangerous aurora borealis. The last environment is Rose Bowl, which is similar to a farm track. There are cornfields, supermarket, nice autumn countryside with falling leaves, and a lot of UFOs with a dangerous race. The environment is simply variable enough, and I don't think that anyone will get bored of it. As for the track design, it varies. Some tracks are great with many straight and technical parts and also some shortcuts, but some of them, especially the Egypt ones, have very narrow parts full of corners where you really need to drive very carefully and slowly, as you can simply get off the track and lose many seconds by getting back. I don't think that this belongs to fast-paced arcade racing, and it's quite a strange design decision for me. Luckily, there are more tracks with good design suitable for this kind of racing game. How about the game difficulty and controls? Colvin Tucker's Farm Animal Racing can be a really challenging game. Your opponents are aggressive and use any possible way to slow you down, and they are close to you most of the time. There are many environmental factors making your life less comfortable, and the design of some tracks makes you drive carefully, not to fall somewhere or get off the track. But thanks to short races and very simple driving model, you won't be suffering too much. During the first attempt you usually learn about the nature of the tracks that the tournament consists of, which makes you able to win particular tournament next time. And even if not, the whole tournament usually takes no more than 10 to 15 minutes, so it's not a problem to try it again in a short time. The controls are very simple, just directional keys, key for activating power-ups, and special ability key. There is no reset key, which I would really use sometimes instead of reversing. It's simply clunky on the narrow tracks and you can lose many precious seconds by it. Also, you cannot set the control scheme in the game, and it doesn't support most controllers, so I have to play on keyboard this time. It was not a big deal, but considering the simplicity of controls, this could have been definitely done better. Let's take a close look at the game audiovisuals. The graphics are simple but really beautiful, with many special effects like snowing, falling leaves, burning fires and so on. The game is really colorful with typical colors for each environment, vehicles are nicely detailed, and all of it can be run on low-end PCs in high resolution, so I can say that devs have done a really good job here. Only thing I dislike is that you need to configure the resolution by overwriting values in the game config file, which makes you feel like you are back in the 90s. The music is another plus for this game, as it has enough music tracks in various styles: country music, techno, Egyptian-like music, relaxing tropical music, or dynamic Scottish track with bagpipes in the main role. Well done! Sounds are about average. You almost don't hear the sound of your vehicle, but there are plenty of redneck-like interjections, plus sounds of shooting, explosions, and, pardon my French, farting. But they would be definitely more atmospheric with some funny one-liners for each character. Is Calvin Tucker's Farm Animal Racing the game that can provide instant racing fun, full of fast-paced action and simple humor? Let's start with the game pros. Instant gameplay, short and well-designed tracks in most cases, sense of humor, variable environment, various power-ups to use, aggressive and original opponents, challenging yet not frustrating difficulty, simple controls, beautiful graphics, and variety of music tracks. And here are the downsides. Rather cosmetic than functional difference between the drivers, absence of car characteristics, just one and not very effective special skill for each racer, design of some tracks is not very suitable for arcade racing, inability to change the control scheme and use controller, absence of reset button, and inability to change the game resolution in the game. Calvin Tucker's Farm Animal Racing is a family-friendly game suitable for kids, but badly misses the presence of local multiplayer. It's a big shame, as this kind of game really shouts for it. The game costs just €2.4 on Steam, which is a very fair price for what it offers. If you are looking for instant arcade racing fun, you are on the right address here. You will get simple fast-paced action racing with a lot of funny moments on mostly well-designed tracks in interesting environments. I have enjoyed Calvin Tucker's Farm Animal Racing despite all its flaws, and if there is a local multiplayer I would get higher with my score. Like this, I'm giving it thumbs up and VideoGaming Father's index 7- out of 10. Recommended. Thank you for watching my video review. If you like it, please give it a thumb up and also subscribe to my VideoGaming Father's channel for more video reviews. See ya!